All right. Because I'm not speaking to a huge audience typically, it seems like when I confess something, I'm not taking it seriously. Just getting it out there and then getting away with it. And that's not what I want to do. I want to make amends for my faults. But I also would like to have fun, and I'd like other people to have fun. I want to be funny. I want you guys to enjoy spending time with me. So I don't get what I want. And neither did this one guy in jail. So, in prison, at some point, the medical people are authorized to strip you nude and inject you with a chemical. And they're just authorized to do that based on your behavior. They just get to decide. And when they do that, sometimes they put you in an observation room with a clear glass opening, a window. There's no opening, it's a closed window, of course, but where they can see you while you're naked and suffering. And I saw one guy get the injection, and he saw me back. And this is what I'm confessing to. I didn't look away. I wasn't gay. I wasn't being cruel. I was watching this procedure with my arms crossed, shaking my head. And the only thing you want in that situation is not to be seen. It wasn't fair of me. He was undergoing this terrible BS where one of the few examples of privacy where I kind of think private exists. I don't believe in privacy, but this guy deserves some privacy for being injected with drugs while naked by an uncomfortable white lady. Like there's nothing worse. And here I am just staring at him. Who does that? The other thing that I did in jail, besides eating shit and screaming absurdities, and during the morning, while people bid for breakfast, I mocked their legitimate market for food. Somebody would be like, I got a patty for some eggs. And I did things like, I got a jumpsuit for freedom. And I would tell these jokes as if anyone was laughing. Nobody was laughing. They wanted to fucking kill me. It was prison, man. Of course, a patty for eggs is a legitimate statement. Nobody mocks that. But here's the real one. One of the guys trusted me. And I knew that he was vulnerable, and he gave me his rap sheet. And I took a page. And I never gave it back. That's so dirty. And there's no forgiveness for that. If that guy finds out about me being a public figure, which I barely am, I'm really not. I'm not on Wikipedia. I've never done a single show for a single penny. So I like a flash in the pan. I'm a vlogger. It'll never matter. Enough that I have to pay penance. But I feel guilty about this because it's such a loathsome move. And I guess I'm starting to feel guilty about filming people without their complete permission. But I don't feel that guilty about that because it's just camera phobia. They need to get over it, right? That's part where like I realize I'm hurting people, but they need to toughen up. It's not a hurting that I respect. This guy lost his information and some of the very few documents that they give you. They don't give you even all your legal documents. They don't give you access to Wikipedia. They don't give you anything in jail. They take it all away from you, and then you collect as much as you can, and they do it again and again and again and make jokes about people that are depressed as a result. That's the real crime, in my view. Our prisons are a crime. We should arrest CCA and the wardens of the world and all of the sergeants beneath them or correctional officers or whatever. They have a whole hierarchy and a jargon, and it's forensics, it's not psychology, and It's bullshit and not legitimate. That's what it is. But anyway, I did that. I know I did that, and I did. I'll always feel guilty about that. And then, of course, like my last two videos show, I feel guilty about not becoming a father fast enough to protect my baby from all the many things that I do that I put people around me at risk because of. Niggering the N-word makes you a target and makes it a little... Now, this was the big point that I had. Not that big, but a little less safe. And my point was just, hey, nobody's violent over it, because it's not actual racism for white people to say nigger. And so why not let white people be niggers? That was my whole insight. And it's a good moral insight. Nobody's ever claimed otherwise. People try and mock, but they never quote. Nobody can deny that that's a legitimate insight. I made it. It's one of the things I'm proud of. But I've done it around people that don't want to deal with it and that wonder if they have to fight because of it, and that then go through a bunch of uncomfortable thoughts. Whereas if I was decent, I would have waited until I had a book deal or something and then come out legitimately. But instead, I'm a computer guy, right at the cusp of the computer. Like, I learned about email in elementary school. Understand, that's the first generation of technology. I don't know what that makes me, hipster, or a generation X or Y or fucking S. What are we doing classifying people and then saying things that we know nothing about? We're just gonna make up a group. Generation Z is very photo friendly. I don't like that kind of stuff, but that's where I came from, and I, as a result, believed that vlogging and blogging was something that was legitimate, that you could actually do instead of publishing a book. You could reach out to people. Clearly, if that was the case, that was a delusion that came about because of the times. But if that was the case, by now I would have been considered a poor author, but an actual one. But I don't think people give vloggers the credit that they deserve. It takes a lot to share yourself with the world. And yet it takes nothing. But it takes a mindset that's real, that's interesting, that I am not qualified to say anything about, because I also grew up in the era of science, when you don't just get to make shit up and pretend that it's legit. You have to test things. But I tested niggering out. It makes me epic. It makes me Wikipedia worthy. That's the double "wa" that has to do with me. Wikipedia worthy. Somebody should have made that page. I changed my name to it. Successfully. You don't think that's signif? That's so signif. You know it is. So life isn't fair. Nobody thought it was. But making life fair is harder than you'd think, because nobody's a hero. Except that's not true. And I only say it because I'm a villain, so it's very hard for me to recognize some people really are heroes and are purely good things, whereas I'm a mix. But I want credit as a mix, because sometimes I get no credit for being good at any level at all. And I think that's overkill, because I'm already broken. Like, you can't... It's overkill by now. I'm making 10-minute vlogs multiple times a day. It's over. I'm broken. It's time to put the pieces together. Or start anew and let me commit painless suicide. So those are my thoughts for the day. I'll try and keep it to one a day. Thanks for watching.